what's your secret? You got the kind of vibe that leaves men speechless. It could be model multitasking genius. Yeah, you got it all.
Welcome back to Breakthrough Conversations with Rhoda and Company, where we explore the inner work and intentional practices behind authentic, courageous, high-impact leadership. Today, we're talking about something every leader faces, but most rarely talk about out loud: the journey from reaction-based leadership to conscious, grounded leadership. Because leadership isn't just about what we do. It's about who we are and the energy we carry into every room, every discussion, and every conversation. And in a world that rewards what? Urgency, activity, and constant doing, many leaders, especially women and high achievers, find themselves in a cycle of over responsibility, stress, and self pressure that slowly erodes confidence, clarity, and presence. So, our guest today is Elle Ingalls, an executive coach and creator of the Pressure Free Method, a neuroscience based approach that helps leaders step out of stress patterns and into calm, confident, emotionally regulated leadership. And we're going to dive into the science, the self-work, and the everyday tools to help leaders show up with composure, show up with clarity, and show up in an unshakable sense of grounded power. So let's dive into it. Welcome, Elle.
Well, I'll tell you, Rhoda, I want you to do my intro every time. That was so great.
And that's you. It's all about you. I really am honored to have you today. And I'm so appreciative that you said yes to joining me in this conversation. So for those who may be new to your work, what led you to study and teach about this panic-free peak performance?
I'm a performer from a tiny age, so played violin starting when I was really little,
Okay.
and then I moved into conducting in college, and I would say that the ground, and also was an athlete too, so college athlete. I'm one of those girls that don't tell me no, like I'm going to find a way to do it, kind of thing. And so I think that it really was born out of the need, if I'm going to do all these things, how can I do it and be calm and confident whenever I take the stage, whenever I take the field, whatever the thing is. And so I built this little set of mental toughness tools. That's what my kids called it. And so I built this little set of tools, and then I've taught it for years to my violin students, to colleagues, to anybody that, just needed to be more confident in a situation. And in 2010, my sons asked me to coach their baseball team in these schools. So this is a high school team, like who puts their mother in the dugout.
And how did that go? How did that go?
Well, I wrote up some ideas, brought it to the coaches, and the head coach was a financial planner for Chase Bank. And he said, I want you to do this. I want you to work with the boys. And Rhoda, what it was I showed him what I want to do. And I want to do that here too. I want to really show you how to interrupt that stress response, that fight or flight stress response, because that's the whole key to excellent performance.
Yes.
That really is. And so I showed him what I wanted to do. And he goes, I want you to work with the boys, but will you be my private coach?
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of funny because 14 years later, 2 years ago, his eldest daughter came and worked with me.
Wow.
And that just warmed my heart so much because it was like we were coming full circle.
Full circle moments. I love those.
Yeah, yeah. But I worked with the boys, and I literally sat on the baseball field, right on the grass, and just coached each boy for like 30 to 40 minutes. Took a couple weeks to get through everybody. And then I was there. Both my sons were playing, so I was there the whole season.
Right.
Any questions they had and anything they wanted to go deeper on. And then I actually was in the dugout a couple of times before the big games, like coaching. So it was really, really cool. It was really fun.
Neat.
That's how it started.
Yeah. So this, number one, it proves that the method you have and the tools you have is applicable to everyone, no matter the age, no matter the gender, all of that. That's amazing.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of people ask, oh, do you only coach women? No. In fact, 2/3 of my clients are men.
Right.
So I coach everyone from CEOs to little 10-year-olds. A 10-year-old can learn this.
Yes.
You know, I'm reading your book right now. I wish I could just dive back in time,
Right.
just be like, you're going to have such an amazing life.
Oh,
I just, you know?
I would have appreciated hearing that too at that time. And I appreciate you supporting me and reading the book as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I bought
Yeah.
it right after we talked. I was like, I want to learn about this woman.
Yes. Do you still play the violin?
I do, not like I used to, though. I went all into my coaching business in 2019. So I stopped playing in symphonies and I stopped teaching then.
Awesome.
And that wasn't easy, but I knew that this is why I'm on the planet. Like,
Right.
this is
Your
why I'm
purpose.
here. And
Yes.
I need to dig in this kind of last chapter of my life here.
Right,
I'm
right.
63, so
Yes.
I need to dig in here.
Oh, you look amazing for 63. Well,
Oh, believe
kudos
me,
to
it's
you.
Pressure Free that did that for me.
Right. Okay. Well, I definitely want to learn more about this. So you talk about the shift from reacting to responding in your words. In your words, what is the reaction-based leadership and how does it show up in everyday leadership moments?
I'm going to go real subtly for a moment.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when someone's triggered fight or flight, one of the things we don't realize is that our eyesight changes and our ability to hear. So if you talk to somebody who's working like a few levels down in a company, they may say things like, you know, my boss doesn't really see me, or I feel like I go into these meetings, but nobody hears me. I'm not affirmed. And I was working with a really high level person, and she told me afterwards that, like, after our first couple sessions, she goes, when I go into a meeting now, I really see my people. I really hear my people. Like, I am so much more engaged and
tuned,
open to
yes.
listening, you know? So when we're in that reactive mode, and many people who are in leadership positions, we're high controllers. We're going to get things across the finish line.
Yes.
It's, you know, go, go, go. We're going to do this thing. And if we're adrenalized, which is what happens in fight or flight, that can come off as very pushy, very dominating. And yes, we're going to get it across the finish line, but at what cost?
Right, right.
And there's that adage, you know, people don't leave organizations, they leave people.
Yes.
They leave leaders. And so one of the things that I help transform is that leaders actually get more done because that adrenaline is kind of a false energy. And then you need the nap at 3 p.m.
Right, because you
Like,
crash.
You shouldn't, if you can refrain from triggering the stress response, you won't even need a nap.
Right.
You won't need the nap. You're going to be able to go, and then you're going to be able to come home and actually have fun with your family or your pets or whoever you live with, right?
Yes.
It's crazy, but that adrenalized energy is not lasting, and it harms us in so many ways. So when you're looking at the longevity of the well-being of a human, especially our leaders, we've lost so many leaders. And I talk about that in my book, Steve Jobs, Susan Wojcicki, CEO of YouTube, like all these amazing leaders, 2 CEOs of McDonald's, 2 of Wendy's,
Wow.
lost before the age of 60. They didn't make it to an average American lifespan.
Oh, wow. That's likely because of the amount of stress.
Yeah. And most, you know, I was kind of, I don't know, what's the word? A little cheeky. Like, I didn't think I needed my own method because I started working with the baseball boys and then actually devised a method, very simple method. And I went so deep on the stress response that I've coached physicians, social workers, therapists, entire teams of psychologists and medical symposiums. Like, they don't get taught this.
Right.
But it really just piqued my interest to really go deep. And so understanding what happens in fight or flight, what's really happening to us, all of those diagnoses like ADHD, ADD, OCD, they all have their roots in the stress hormones. They all have their roots in the stress response. So if we can clean that up, so much is possible. Like, we think about heart health, right?
Yes.
Heart health, diabetes, chronic disease is physical, but also the mental ones too.
Yes.
So that's what really geeks me out. Like, it fascinates me. I could study day and night about all of that and
Right.
to help my clients.
It's amazing. And thank you for really having an interest in this and putting legs on it and putting into motion and impacting and changing lives because to your point, we aren't taught it. And then we end up, you mentioned it before, I thought about the silence of the impact that stress has on us physically.
yeah.
And someone I had on before mentioned the book, The Body Keeps Score.
Uh-huh.
And so we don't realize the long term impact that stress is having on us. So that is a really critical mission work that you're doing.
Yeah. And when I think about that, the body keeps score. One of the
Mm-hmm.
things I really try to do with my clients is have them become open to possibility.
Mm-hmm.
It actually might not take very long at all
Right.
to flip the switch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Mm-hmm.
can't predict when it would happen,
Right.
right?
Right.
It's usually about 6 to 8 weeks in to
Mm-hmm.
really look using the method. But for some people, like I had one guy in sales in 4 days, he had a massive breakthrough. Massive.
Mm.
And then one of the younger people I worked with, her dad was an executive, and this girl had been in chronic anxiety for 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He said to me, she hasn't smiled in 2 years. Like it's
Wow.
been that hard. And I'll share what I shared with her because it
Mm-hmm.
was like a light bulb went on. So
Mm-hmm.
there's two different floods of hormones when we
Mm-hmm.
trigger fight or flight, and they're coming from the adrenal glands, first the
Okay.
middle and then later the outer part of
Mm-hmm.
it. First flood goes out, that's the adrenaline flood. It's a
Mm-hmm.
little cocktail. I like to say you're now under the influence.
Right.
So that is going to go out, and that has a whole bunch of side effects, including
Mm-hmm.
shutting down the eyes and the ears. You
Mm-hmm.
might get jittery, your pen clicker in the office, the pen
Mm-hmm.
clicker, the leg jiggler. We fidget
Right.
because we have all this adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
Not supposed to sit still in fight or flight. We're supposed to fight or run away, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's why people can be so like anxious or impatient to get out
Okay.
of a meeting. So that first flood goes out, but later there's a second flood. They're called glucocorticoids. You hear a lot
Mm-hmm.
about cortisol today.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to cancel cortisol because
Right.
if you release the adrenaline, you need cortisol to fix your brain cells and
Mm-hmm.
your extremities where we've pulled fat and glucose out of the cells.
Mm-hmm.
So this cortisol actually goes out to fix it.
Okay.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
However, it has side effects.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is making you feel anxious for no reason.
Right.
Another is insomnia. Now, those two alone, there's a whole bunch it does to the body, but
Mm-hmm.
those two alone, when you're just kind of lying in bed and you're safe, you're in your
Mm-hmm.
bed, you got a roof that doesn't leak. I used to say this
Mm-hmm.
about myself, right?
Right.
My roof is not leaking right now.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
got food in the fridge. I am safe because those worries will just spin and spin and spin.
Yes.
And we don't seem to be able to control them.
Mm-hmm.
That's because we've released these stress chemicals in
Mm-hmm.
the brain.
Mm-hmm.
So when you can refrain from releasing the first flood,
Mm-hmm.
the second flood doesn't go out.
Well, how do you prevent from releasing it?
There you go. So that girl, by the way, said, "Oh, if I don't trigger the first flood, then the second flood doesn't go out. I won't
Mm-hmm.
feel anxious for no reason."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was a breakthrough in thought for her. So
Yes.
how do we do it? From a resting heart rate. So if you're just
Mm-hmm.
sitting here and you're relaxed right now, and something hits you, like a
Mm-hmm.
thought
Mm-hmm.
or an alarm goes off, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is, you have about 10 seconds before the two mechanisms in your brain tell that first flood of hormones to release the cocktail.
Mm.
10 seconds is quite a bit of time.
It is.
1,000, it's plenty of time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's plenty of time for my high achievers who want it done yesterday.
Right.
They're not going to sit for 10 seconds. Even 10 seconds, they're not going to sit. So,
Mm-hmm.
what can you do in that 10-second window to not release the hormones? It could be
Yes.
something as easy as smiling,
Mm.
even if it's a smirk, like a little sarcastic.
Right.
And that's neuroscience because
Mm-hmm.
when the corners of your mouth go up, you
Mm-hmm.
release neuropeptides that allows your brain to think, well, okay, so now we can choose our response to what
Mm.
just happened.
Okay.
You know how you're driving down the road and you might get that jolt because
Mm-hmm.
something's right?
Mm.
If in the moment that jolt starts, you relax your belly, you will prevent the release of the hormones.
Right.
So it's right in that immediate time frame. And so what I've done is created over 50 ways to interrupt that.
Wow. And that's in your book.
Yep, I share about 14 of them in both of my books. I have a parenting book and a CEO book. And I share about 14 of the 50 ways.
Right.
Because my big book, which someday I'll finish, right? We'll have all of them in there.
Yes.
But I've had to create a lot because everybody's so unique. So the method is simple because we're complex.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I mean, we have all this history, we have generational patterns. Some of the things we stress over are generations old. Like, who knows how far back it's been going on?
Right.
And so breaking those little patterns, understanding and recognizing, and instead of like going deep about why we have these patterns, I'm like, what do we want?
Right.
So I like to tell my clients, we're working present to future, and we can talk about these things, but always in the way of, okay, so how are we going to interrupt that thought or that thing to move you where you want to go?
Want to be. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love also the theme that I'm hearing threaded throughout everything you're saying is the choices. Even you mentioned it. It was like you have a decision to make once you do X, or doing X. What are you going to do? Yeah, it's all about choices.
I'm glad you said that because it's pinging me to say, like, when we're in fight or flight, our brain wants to justify and rationalize everything going on. So, like, I used to coach middle school track, and kids would cross the line and go, "Oh, Mrs. Ingalls, I could have run faster." Like, what holds them back?
Right.
If they fear they're not going to get the right time or place, if they hold back, now they have the justification.
Right.
I didn't run fast enough.
Yes.
So our brain's constantly trying to compensate because we're so afraid of failure.
Yes.
And we'll do that in the workplace too. We'll like just hold back a little on a project. Oh, I could have done better, you know?
Right. You know, I'm interviewing for new roles, so I've been having lots of interviews. I got to talk a lot about myself. And I finally found myself in an interview where the hiring leader asked me, tell me about a time where you led something that failed. I almost panicked in the moment because I was like, I wasn't prepared for that question. Right. And I also don't want to ever be able to say I failed at something. Right. So I remembered that it's okay to pause. So I said, well, let me think about that. I said, because I am a high performer, so it's probably far and few in between. But when I had to think about it, I said failure means something different for everyone. So it depends on how you define failure. But I use an example of a story where I found that to be a personal failure. Others may not have saw it as that, but I saw it as a personal failure. But it was hard for me to want to be that vulnerable in that moment.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting how I think it's because, you know, we all came from tribal situations historically. And if we're kicked out of the tribe, we would die, right?
Yes.
So we're so afraid of that. We're just so afraid of that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. You know, that many leaders, they don't realize when they're in that stress or response mode.
Yeah.
So what are some subtle psychological behavior cues that a leader is triggered or operating in that fight or flight mindset?
I would say the first is if you need to take any medications, either for something mental or physical that's chronic, going through time, that's like a sign.
Yeah.
There's, you know, a lot of leaders look so calm and confident on the exterior, but I'm like, okay, let's lift up the hood.
Right.
Oh crap, I have ulcerative colitis, or I have this, or whatever. You know, what's going on that way? For me, I had eczema all over my hands for 35 years. 8 weeks of using this method, it completely healed.
Wow. Like, I used to have eczema too for
years.
For years. And I would get I would get night hives. And you probably saw it in the book already. I used to get hives as a kid all the
Yes,
time.
I remember that.
And
Yeah.
even into adulthood. And then I just realized I haven't had hives probably in the last 5 years.
Oh, that's
But
so good.
someone told me that was repressed stress.
Yeah, it's incredible. It
That
really
is
is.
amazing. Mm-hmm.
The skin is our largest organ, so it can reflect
Yes.
these. I used to get bouts of stress acne on my cheeks,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but so embarrassing too.
Right.
And all that is embarrassing. So now we trigger because of shame,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So if there's anything going on that way, that's like a clue.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a little jittery or impatient, you find
Mm-hmm.
yourself impatient.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another thing that I see with leaders in particular is that you'll get home and you're exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
or you have insomnia. Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
have trouble falling asleep, or 2 or 3 a.m. you're wide awake.
Mm-hmm.
If you're fatigued in the morning, so you really didn't get a deep delta wave sleep, we
Mm-hmm.
can't get a deep delta wave sleep unless we're free of the stress hormones.
Right.
It's really very, very difficult to go that deep.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see, what are some other clues? You find yourself being impatient and snapping at people.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's coming out of your mouth, you later go, oh, so wish I didn't say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll say or do something that you later regret.
Right.
Also, if you have a lack of willpower, like you get home and you binge, whatever that
Mm-hmm.
is,
Mm-hmm.
alcohol, weed,
Mm-hmm.
wine, whatever it is,
Right.
Netflix, you stream because you just want to be comforted.
Right.
That's a sign that you've triggered fight or flight too.
Yes. Yeah, I've had that trigger a few times in the last few
Yeah.
days. Few days actually. And what if the leader or person only has 60 seconds in the middle of a stress moment? What's one grounding tool that they can use on the spot?
Yeah, let's do a few tools right here.
Okay.
So it's that 10-second window you want to work
Mm-hmm.
with. You don't even need a minute. All you need is 10 seconds. So
Right.
I gave you the smile. Another
Mm-hmm.
really powerful one is to put a hand on your belly and just relax your belly muscles.
Mm.
When we go into fight or flight, our abs tighten to protect our
Mm-hmm.
lower organs because we don't have ribs.
Right.
So if you can relax your belly, your entire front is going to soften. You will have more connection with whomever you're speaking with. Your voice will be more full and your face won't be so tight. But if your abs are tight, the whole front of your body is tighter. You're literally pushing people away from you.
Right.
So relaxing the abs, and everybody's telling us to keep our abs tight, suck it in, all that. No. Trainers even tell their people to keep their abs tight all day. You don't need to do that. No other animal does that.
Right.
A dog does not do sit-ups and
Right.
curls, right? The only time they tighten their abs is when they're afraid.
Right.
I'm going to give you one more little subtle body thing you can do, and that's lifting your ribs up away from your waist. So we kind of hunker in.
Yes.
And when you elongate the front of your body, it instantly tells your brain there's no reason to be afraid. Again, we're going to coil up to protect. So just lifting your ribs up is a great one. If you find yourself really nervous, like you're in a meeting, you're leading something, or maybe you're backstage before you go out to give a presentation, if you rub down the tops of your legs, not back up, sometimes you'll see kids that are really nervous go down and up and down, up and down. If you just go down,
like you're releasing.
Because you're working, if you look at the hairs on your body, they go in the direction of the hairs on your arms and legs. That's the direction of our nervous system. And so you're soothing yourself.
Okay.
That's a really cool one. And I just gave one to a mother of one of my clients today. And it's to start a yawn. Like if you open your mouth really big, like you're going to yawn, it actually is a nervous system soother.
Okay.
So there's a couple right there.
Yes.
My tools come in 3 types, Rhoda. So using your body, using your mind. And then the third type is life design. And life design tools, one of the ones I have is called Spirit of Contribution. We're a highly competitive society. We compare ourselves all the time.
Yes.
We're trying to get the best grade. We're trying to, we're just built in us because of school and in our sibling relationships and everything.
Right.
So when you ask yourself in any given situation in that 10-second window, how can I contribute? That changes the paradigm of what you might say or do next. You're no longer trying to outshine this coworker by proving how smart you are or whatever. You're actually like, okay, so how can I contribute?
I love that. How can I contribute?
Yeah, that's super powerful. I was coaching a teen last night when I got done like 3 body, 3 mind, 3 life design. 2 of them, her 2 favorite tools are life design tools, kind of more complex. And that was one of them. She's like, I love that. She's a student athlete. It's just going to help her so much.
Yeah, one of the things I've adapted on my own without even knowing this is in the workplace and in life. How can I support you in this moment? Yeah.
That's
very
beautiful.
similar. Very similar. Yeah.
Very similar. Yeah.
So instead of waiting until they're in crisis mode, what's a daily practice that these leaders and or individuals can incorporate into their daily habits so that we're not only leveraging these tools in a crisis moment?
Yeah. From when you're coming out of sleep, your brain is typically in theta waves, where your subconscious and conscious are very connected. So whatever we do, and I call it the bookends of our day, when we're waking up and when we're falling asleep, those are really important brain times.
Yes.
So think about it. For millennia, almost every culture, every religion, what did we do in those bookends? We prayed.
Right.
We didn't know if we were going to make it through the night.
That's right. You didn't know if you were going to wake up.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord, if I die before I
wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take.
We said that as children.
Yes.
In the 70s counterculture, we kind of threw that out the window, the morning and evening prayers. If I'm coaching someone who was born before 1970, you and I, like, that's how we started and ended our day.
Yes.
And so when I coach someone who's like in their 30s or 40s, they go, no, I never did that. So the bookends are really beautiful. And here's what I do. I share with my clients. It's like when you first wake up, if you can look outside, can you look at something beautiful, a leaf or a branch? I have a pine branch that I say hello to every morning. So look at something beautiful, see something beautiful. How are you waking up sound wise? Is it the Power Ranger button? Right. Or is it, maybe it's not an alarm. You're just gently waking up. But if you have an alarm, make sure it's not jarring.
Right.
That will instantly trigger you. So whatever sounds, or is someone saying, hurry up, you're going to be late? Like most American kids wake up every day. So how can you beautifully wake up sound wise?
Yes.
And then being very intentional about the first thoughts we put in our head. I had a quality control engineer. I mean, his first thought was, oh my gosh, my projects are failing. Like, it's just an instant stress, right?
Yes.
Or if you have something personal going on, you could wake up and just be so instantly stressed. So taking a moment to very intentionally choose what you think, and then do the same thing at night.
Yes.
The same thing at night. So your bookends start to create a pattern that's deeply affecting your subconscious. And the subconscious loves a couple things. It loves repetition.
Yes.
And it also loves specifics. So when you can have those thoughts be something specific that you'd like to see happen in your day, like the brain loves that.
Right. That's very wise. Good advice. Yeah, when I wake up in the morning, the first thought other than, oh, my knees hurt.
Yeah, if you're in pain,
yes.
Pain causes us to trigger the stress response all the time.
Yes.
Can I share about that for a moment?
Yes.
So many people, I mean, my hands were in pain all the time from stupid eczema, right? If we have something, if we hurt, headaches, or you're afraid you might get a migraine in your day, like whatever the pain is, if you notice, we've been taught since we were little to tighten toward the pain. Like you skin your knee for the first time and someone went,
Right.
oh, and their face was all tight, right?
Yes.
So when you have pain, if you can do just the opposite, and I think of it as relaxing away from the pain.
Yes.
And like put your hands on your knees and say, I love you, knees. Like,
Yes.
because when something hurts, we don't like it, we hate it, right?
Right.
So it's like we
Right.
give it a lot of hate instead of a lot of love.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, I love you, knees. And then, so you've changed physically, you've relaxed, you've changed mentally, you're thinking more positively about the area. And then if you can just open up energetically and just let the beautiful energy of what created us, we are the chosen ones.
Yes.
Think of, we're chosen to be on this planet for some
We
reason,
really
right?
are. Yeah.
And I don't want to cry.
One in 300 billion or 400 billion people are born.
It's
Like your
incredible, isn't
chances
it?
of being born are 1 in 300 billion or 4. It's just a huge number.
It's huge. And so we're here, and the energy that created us, I truly believe, this is in my faith foundation, it doesn't want us in pain.
No.
It doesn't want us hurting. It wants us flourishing. I think of
Yes.
Nelson Mandela when he said, your light is designed to shine, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like we're designed to shine, but pain will restrict our shining.
Yes.
It's like letting that shining happen. And so I like tune into the creative energy that built us to heal us.
Yes. I usually think to myself when I wake up, Lord, you woke me up another day. I still am on the journey to fulfill the purpose that you have for me. I agree with you that our chances of being born, and I'm very serious about it. Like,
No, me
we are
too.
here for a reason. We have a purpose, and I despise companies and organizations that don't honor that, because it feels like our society believes that you work here, that's all you're supposed to do. And therefore, I can't pursue other passions and other things outside of my 9 to 5, which are really more aligned with my passion and purpose. And
Right,
so,
right.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
this conflict
Yeah.
there. And I wish the world understood it and everybody saw it the way you and I just described it. But
Well,
to
we're
you,
so multidimensional.
yes, yes.
We have so many things that we like to do and want to pursue, but if we're too tired, we can't.
Can't. No.
And so I love it when my clients, really have their breakthrough. I see them do cool things. They start painting, they start
Yes.
volunteering. They're like doing things that before they just didn't have the energy to do. Or
Right.
they dig in deeper to work. Like one of my clients, she's a composer, owns 2 music stores.
Wow.
She goes like, I can practice till 11 o'clock at night and not be drained. Whereas before, like 9 o'clock hits, she's like, oh my God, I want to go to bed.
Right, right. I want to go back a little bit to the pain part and leaning away from that. Today is an example. So when I got up this morning and I noticed that when I decide intentionally, there's like 2 or 3 things I must accomplish today. It could be laundry. It could be making sure I sweep that office, or it could be small things. It's my point. It's not big things. But I told myself I don't want to go through a day without having accomplished something. So today I knew I was going to be away from the house for an extended period of time most of the day. So, and I knew my husband would make it home before me, and he's been doing a lot of the cooking. And I said the kitchen was a mess because it's my job to clean when he cooks. So I said, I was in pain when I woke up because my knee hurt and I got Achilles heel tendonitis. And normally I baby it. And like you said, I'm tensed up and I'm tiptoeing around the house. Well, because I knew I had to get out at a certain time and I wanted to accomplish that. So when he came back, it was a clean kitchen.
Oh, nice.
I went to the kitchen and I did all kind of things. I swept, I washed the dishes, I put up the other dishes, I hung up some clothes, I put the dog food out, I let the dog out. I did so many things. And when I got back to my room to start getting dressed, I was like, I wasn't even in pain. I didn't even think of the
You
pain.
were on mission.
Yes. I didn't even think about it. So to your point is do the opposite of what we're called to do. Just that's why I say I got to keep moving. I got to keep moving. My husband joke with me a lot, especially when we're traveling, and he'd be like, "Come on, old lady, you need me to get you a wheelchair?" And I refuse to get a wheelchair because I said, "No, I gotta walk. I gotta keep
Move.
moving." Yes,
Oh my gosh, that's so
yes,
good. But I
yes.
love how you're bringing up like when we're on
Mhm.
point and on mission.
Yes.
Some of the life design stuff I work with my clients is when you get very clear about
Mhm.
like your one thing you're going to get done today, or
Right.
what are those things, and you're really on mission, you're less apt to trigger the stress response
Mhm. Mhm.
because you have a clear path
Yes.
in what you want to
Yes.
do. And so when a stressor comes, you're almost more like, well, I'll take care of that later, or
Right.
you're not letting it interfere.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so that's kind of interesting.
It
Pain is
is.
fascinating.
It
Like it
is. It
really
really
is.
is.
And how we can almost believe ourselves well.
Yes. I agree. So, Elle, what advice do you give leaders who they intellectually understand calm leadership, but
Mhm.
they struggle to live it in a fast-paced environment? To the point we talked about, everything is quick, 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 fast, fast, fast.
Yeah. Um, I like to tell my leaders it all starts with you. Like if you're
Mm-hmm.
leading this team or leading this company,
Mm-hmm.
the culture starts with you. How
Yes.
you are really matters, and your
Mm-hmm.
health really matters. So
Yes.
if they've been putting their health on the back burner or their relationships on the back burner, we are whole people, and that's
Mm-hmm.
going to bleed in.
Yes.
And so, again, it's kind of that lift the hood up thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what's wonderful about a coach relationship is I create this space where there's no judgment.
Right.
You can share anything. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. Like we get to clean up whatever you want to clean up.
Right.
And so, being a lot of times people will say, I don't have the time, I don't have the money to take care of
Mm-hmm.
myself, like whatever those things are. What is the cost if you don't?
Right.
What is the cost to the company if you
Mhm.
don't?
Mhm.
I was just saying Charlie Bell. I think he was, I want to say 42 when he died of a heart attack.
Mhm.
47,
Oh,
somewhere
that's
in his
young.
40s.
Yeah.
CEO of McDonald's.
Mhm.
Okay. How did that impact his family?
Right.
All the places he donated money to,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
I used to be very close to the Kellogg company
Mhm.
CEOs because I ran a symphony and they were my
Mhm.
donors.
Mhm.
Those families are just pouring money into the community. They're
Yes.
supporting so many things and they're taking on so many responsibilities.
Mhm.
And if that person dies at a young age, that is, it's
It just
almost
has this
criminal,
trickle down effect. Mhm.
So I think that I think that it's so easy to just be push, 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 push. And I'm not saying actually you don't have to slow down or take time off.
Mhm.
All you need
Mhm.
to do is interrupt the stress response. If
Yes.
you're the kind of person that says, don't tell me to take time off or slow down, I'll
Mhm.
just add something in.
Right.
This is like perfect for you
Mhm.
because you're going to on the go all throughout your day, stop releasing those hormones.
Mhm.
And now you're going to have energy. Like my clients will gain, one guy gained 4 hours in his day,
Wow.
another woman 3 of
Mhm.
productive time,
Yes.
because we spend a lot of our brain time in the mess.
Mhm. Mhm.
So when that shortens, it's like, what are you going to think next?
Right. Right.
It's pretty cool. So
Yes.
I think but I think sometimes there's like you have to insert a key deep in your heart
Mhm.
and like say,
Mhm.
no, you know what? I deserve this.
Yes.
I deserve to be able to change this up. I
Mhm.
deserve to be able to step in. Well, some clients will say, they're like, you help me find the real me.
Mhm.
The stressed out us is not us.
Right.
That's not the real us.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And I so clearly, like I'll say pre-pressure free. That's like before
Mhm.
I learned this. And
Right.
then 2010, that's when everything shifted for me. So my
Right.
hands cleared up, my dense
Yes.
breast tissue changed, like
Yes.
everything changed for me.
Mhm.
And so then I'm like, yeah, I never want to go back to that girl. I
Right.
never want to go
Right.
back to her, right?
Yes. This is so good. Oh my God. So I'm gonna shift a little to what I call rapid fire round. I'm gonna ask you a
Sure.
question, you fill in the blank. So
Okay.
when a leader feels themselves spiraling into stress, the first thing they should tell themselves is
It's going to be okay.
Yes.
I've got this.
It's going to be okay. And the most underrated superpower of a calm leader is,
Patience.
yes, patience. If stress had a slogan in corporate America, it would be,
Oh, it's not just a silent killer.
right. Oh, that's so true. um, and then what's a slogan for calm leadership is
Pressure free.
pressure free. Now, what's the name of you have 2 books, right?
I do. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what's the name of your 2 books? How can people find them to purchase them and support you? What's your website? How can they get in touch with you if they want to hire you for this amazing coaching?
So back in 2020, I wrote Pressure Free Parenting,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a really simple book, but it's so, so helpful. So if you're a
Yes.
parent, this is a really easy read.
Mm-hmm.
But both of the books are easy reads, but they're deep. I would say
Right,
that.
right.
And then this is the Pressure Free CEO.
Yes.
So my books, if you go to my website, you can get a download at a less expensive cost than if you went to Amazon. But both of
Okay.
these are on Amazon. And my website is my name. So Elle like the magazine, Ingalls like Little House on the Prairie. That's how
Right.
you can find it. So ElleIngalls.com. You can also find it by pressure-free.com. And go ahead and tool around in there. I have an e-zine and you can subscribe to it. And once a month, I send you some interesting little articles and what's going on in Pressure Free. And I would love to have a conversation. Like you will never,
Yes.
of course, feel any pressure if you have a conversation
Right.
with me.
Right.
But if this interests you, or you have someone that you love who's really experiencing anxiety, 2/3 of my clients are high achievers, but there's a third that are people who have been given diagnoses. They're really struggling, and it's scary.
Yes.
And so I'd love to be of service to those people too.
Yes.
So
That's amazing. That's
yeah, there's a
amazing.
lot of young people are really, really stressed right now. So but you can just book a call with me and we'll have a chat and I can go deeper and learn more about you to see if this might be a good fit for you.
Well, Elle, thank you so much for what I consider a very powerful but necessary conversation.
Love
It
it.
really is. Thank you so much for joining me. You reminded us that leadership isn't about rushing, it isn't about reacting or carrying the weight alone. It's about presence, grounded energy, and conscious choice. So, for everyone listening, if today's episode resonated, share it with a leader or a loved one or a friend or someone you may know who could benefit from this and who could use a reminder to simply breathe, to release the pressure, to smile, and leave from calm strength and not constant strain. So make sure to connect with Elle and explore her panic-free peak performance resources or pressure-free methods. And everything will be linked in the show notes as well. And remember, breakthrough leadership begins with self-awareness and self-regulation. If you cannot lead others to peace and clarity if you don't first cultivate that within yourself. So thank you for joining us for this breakthrough conversation. Until next time, stay grounded, stay intentional, and give yourself permission to lead from a place of calm power. Thank you for listening.
Hey, what's your secret? You got the kind of vibe that leaves me speechless. It could be model multitasking genius. Yeah, you got it all. Hey, what's your story? A kick-ass mom and 40 under 40. A soccer practice in your high heel glory. Yeah, you do it all.